Natasha Dobbe speaking for the women's publication for Size,
Sofia Rippon.
and we're interviewing Dali Al today. And just to start off the questions, just fun, could you please describe your style in 3 words?
Ooh, diverse, um, spontaneous, and probably comfy. I'd say most of my kids are quite comfy.
Probably.
That's a nice way.
And if you had to tell the audience something about yourself and your passions, what would it be?
About myself, I guess my passions are kind of inspired by other people, and something that has an effect on my own personality is that I'm constantly looking to meet new people, and I want to always be surrounded by people that inspire me and by people that add something like a good positive energy into my life and also into my kind of like creative process.
Yeah, 100%. And what inspired the road to nowhere?
A lot of things, but the main things were kind of just like I said, seeing the work of other second generation immigrants, people like Riz Ahmed, who is like quite a well-known kind of actor, rapper. He's Pakistani, he's British. Writers like Alia Maru, all of these people were just making this incredible art and creating things that I felt spoke to me as a person. And I'd never seen stuff like that in mainstream culture, things that represented my existence. It had always been like very whitewashed. So that was really fascinating. And after reading loads, watching loads of things, listening to loads of podcasts, I just got inspired. I just wanted to I had this energy and I was like, I just need to create something that I can put my voice into and that other people feel like they're being heard, people like me. And I hope that that's what we achieved.
100%, 100%.
That's amazing.
Really beautiful and something that I just haven't really seen before. 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking about that, I mean, obviously we grew up together. We've known each other since we were 2 years old. And, you know, when I look back at our school days, that just like white dominated like environment affected you and your style and how you represent yourself and just, you know, how you like woke up every day and choose how to like go into the world.
Yeah, as I was saying to you, Tash, earlier, I think it's a fascinating overlap between your kind of racialized identity and style, because I never really thought about it in that way. But it has really had an effect on my style and how I express myself. And I think style is such a personal journey for everyone, not just for like people of color or for women. It's a journey for everyone. I think that being in such a white dominated like community my whole life has definitely affected things like how I might maybe tone down some of my features, or you know, like my hair was a huge thing for my style, because I think curly hair is a big part of style for women who have curly hair and have natural hair, and kind of making that the main aspect of your style is a really scary thing to do when you've been told your whole life that straight hair is the norm and straight hair is beautiful and curly hair is messy and it doesn't look good and everything. So I think accepting my curly hair was a huge part of my style journey, but also things like I don't know, being more adventurous with my clothing, being more experimental, wearing things that I wanted to wear, but I was scared that people would kind of like judge me for if I was in other circles. And I think, of course, that is, again, with everyone, loads of people have that kind of, those feelings. But I think that women of color especially feel the need to fit in because there's an aspect of themselves which doesn't fit into the norm and doesn't fit into the mainstream.
I mean, especially like where you were like brought up and like all of that, I can imagine like that would have been a struggle, you know, like just because I've known you for so long, like I never really like thought about it in terms of that. And then you hear all these stories and I just think to myself, but that was you and that was your experience. And that's why like I enjoyed personally when I was reading like snippets from your zine, The Road to Nowhere, I just finally like saw so clearly like what your upbringing would be through like your eyes. And I just like really have respect for you so much from like, you know, what you've been through, and just something that would have just been so much easier for me. And like I had so much privilege in that environment compared to you, and just like well done for being like amazing and doing all these inspirational things and giving voices to those people that probably were brought up in the same environment. I just think that's really amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. That makes me very emotional to hear, because obviously that's the intention that I had with it. And it means so much to me that you actually believe those things. And obviously I think also, you know, like you were saying, Tash, I've known you forever. And when it's with your friends and with people that you've grown up with, I don't even think about it to that kind of extent until you've been taken out of the environment. So I think for me, The Road to Nowhere was like part of that self-acceptance journey. It was kind of, I'm still figuring it out, and loads of people are, but it's putting your voice out there is the first step towards kind of finding out who you are and how you've been shaped by these environments. Because, you know, growing up in Surrey and like these kind of white dominated public schools, you're constantly told to like be someone. And so when you leave that environment, it's like you're having to kind of rediscover yourself all over again. And I have to constantly question, do I want to pluck my eyebrows because I think it's nice, or do I want to pluck my eyebrows because I've been told my whole life that big bushy eyebrows are not nice and they're untidy and they're gross and stuff like that. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think like we could all be doing more to like represent like women of color and like people from all like kinds of like backgrounds? Like obviously that is just such like a unrealistic beauty standard at the minute, and I feel like it affects everyone. Like what could we all be doing to make things better for everyone?
Yeah, it's a good question, because I think a lot of people are concerned these days about are they doing enough, or do they know enough? And I am very much of the mind that I don't think people should get worried or upset about it. Like, as in, I don't think white people need to start getting really anxious about, are they doing the right thing? Are they saying the right thing? Because we're all human at the end of the day. You're not gonna, like, I say stupid shit sometimes, I do wrong things sometimes. You're never gonna get it 100% right. I think the first step, if you want to, you know, like start exploring those avenues and being more aware, is just education. It's really as simple as that. Just educating yourself is the first step. I think outside of your personal self, in terms of industries and on a more macro level, representation at like executive levels. So not just putting Black, brown, Asian faces on your modeling campaigns, but actually having Black, brown, Asian faces at like leadership in leadership
Yeah,
roles.
100%, I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And to lead off the question I asked earlier, you know, like speaking about, you know, like your upbringing and stuff, do you think your parents, and I know you're like so close to your grandma, and I know she's just like the coolest person ever, do you think that influenced your style and like how you represented yourself?
Yeah, for sure, it did. It's actually so funny that you say that, because I've just written a piece about how my grandma influenced my style.
Okay.
It hasn't been published yet, but once it is, I'll send it to you. But it basically sums up everything that I'm going to say now, and just like in a more, you know, in a better way. But I'm just going to kind of sum it up, I guess. My grandma was very rebellious in a way, because she grew up in Iraq. And when she was growing up in Iraq, women did wear like what they wear in the West today. It wasn't very kind of conservative or even very Muslim, but of course women still got shamed into covering up and being more conservative. My grandma never wanted to wear the things that she saw in the shops and stuff, so she'd just make her own clothes. She was a fashion designer for a bit. She'd design her own clothes. She'd go to the shop, get fabric, make her own dresses, make her own skirts. And she's a beautiful woman. And when she was younger, she was absolutely stunning. And obviously she got a lot of attention from men and women. And she'd go out in these provocative little short dresses and everything. And I think that gave her a sense of like freedom and liberty. And I'm not saying that women have to show skin, to feel free. But for her, it was kind of like that, showing off her silhouette, showing off beautiful garments that she'd make. And she's an artist, so part of her art was creating clothes. So I think she handed down that sense of expression through style to me and to my mum as well. And I think that everyone who has met her can see how she influences people through her style. And just want to start wearing really cool things when you see her, because she makes you feel like, yeah, like I can be myself around you and it's cool.
I mean, I remember when I was younger, I think we went over to her apartment one time, and I remember just staring at her because she always had like bright, fun colours and textiles. And I remember I just stared at her and, oh my God, she's so cool. So I just know she's the coolest person ever. And I think that's so great that you had that, you know, inspiration in your life.
Yeah.
So you recently, to go for a different kind of conversation, you wrote an article about being 21 in lockdown recently. And do you think that lockdown has like changed, like do you think you've like discovered yourself more? Has it changed the way you express yourself, or like anything along those lines?
Through style specifically, or through
just like, has it given you time, because I know you've been doing lots of work like in the lockdown, stuff like that, do you think it's given you time to like reflect on like who you are, and do you think that's like affected your style or like any way that you've expressed yourself?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it's had a kind of weird effect on the way that I express myself, because when you're not surrounded by people all the time, you start to question why you do certain things. And I think most people feel that way. Like, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, if I wake up and I'm not seeing anyone, I'm like, why am I wearing makeup and why am I doing this stuff? But then sometimes you just really enjoy wearing makeup and you just want to do it for yourself. It's fun. You want to put some eyeliner on, you want to dress up cute, even if you're not going anywhere. Do you guys feel like you also had that? Or
yeah, I feel like I lost myself a bit at the beginning. I was like, I don't know why I'm doing like certain things that I'm doing for people, but I feel like the more in lockdown that we were, the more I was like exploring different things. I feel like it made me a bit more creative in a way. Like there was no one else to impress, so I'm just doing things because I purely enjoy it.
Yeah.
But like as well, like especially for me, like I worked really hard in like self-care. I got like really like when I got anxious or like overwhelmed, I just used to like stretch, like just lie on my floor and just stretch out. Something that I never like made time for before, because I'm always like, gotta get to uni, gotta go here, gotta go there, and just having that like time like in my room just to like to have that self-care and be free, like I do that, like really important. I feel, you know, your mental health is tested the most when you're on your own, and just finding ways to actually like get to the root of that and what can make you feel better, I feel like can be so important in those like silent times, for sure. So yeah, just to finish off the interview now, can you just let us know for size and for the size buyers and viewers, what is your go-to favorite trainer?
It's got to be the Nike 97s. Because they look good with any outfit. They come in like every bloody color and pattern, and they are so comfy. It's got to be the Nike 97s.
I'm a Nike girl too. Well, thank you so much, Dahlia. This has been amazing. Honestly,
incredible. Thank you.
Can't wait for everyone to actually go and look at your work now, and hopefully this will give you like a wide audience and more people can just appreciate what you do. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.